Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at some awesome Ultra League battles going up against Edgar, very ambitious Pokemon trainer here in Anchorage, which I enjoy battling every single time, and I have a great time. And this is one of the reasons why PvP is absolutely not dead and is fun, because if you are looking to challenge another trainer who is extremely competitive and trying to have fun with possibly unique Pokemon, and if they keep using the same Pokemon, no big deal. If you can't beat them, we'll find a workaround for their Pokemon in certain counters, and you should be able to do so. And or somebody else who likes to switch up their team quite often. It's just so fun, and I've been waiting for this. Is it what I have been expecting? Everything I really wanted in PvP for Pokemon Go? I think it's a little bit more than what I was expecting. As far as what I wanted, you know, if they went turn-based, it would slow things down. They could make it, you know, very fast. You have about, you know, a few seconds to make your decision, and then the person goes in. But that just seems a little too tedious, right, for this specific mobile app here. If you want that, you go to the main series games, right? Pokemon Let's Go, or the main series games, which they're going to be coming out with a new one coming 2019, which should be quite amazing. I'm wondering, are they going to go down the route of Pokemon Let's Go and keep it simplistic like that? I really don't think they're going to do their main hardcore players like that, right? And if for people who think that Pokemon Let's Go isn't hardcore or is it not competitive, it is a competitive. It's extremely competitive, and you have to play your cards right. You're going to see a lot of the same Pokemon when you go online, because those are just the top tiers. But I mean, I've seen people pull out some of those underused Pokemon and still win the battle, even going up against those overused Pokemon. Anyways, so PvP in Pokemon Go, I personally am enjoying it. I like it a lot. All right, and we also have a tournament coming up tomorrow, which is going to be quite fun. Now, the thing about Pokemon Go PvP, when you go into a battle with 3 Pokemon, now I think we're going to be able to see each other's team beforehand, the 6 Pokemon we're using, just not the ones we're actually going to go in with, the 3. But you know, it's like rock, paper, scissors. You can go in there with the best counter for the Pokemon that they're starting with, and it's basically game over. Although you can switch it up and pull the win, even with that horrible matchup. It's not a matter of, oh, you're good or you're bad. Sometimes you just have the luck of the draw, and you don't have the best counters for the beginning. So my advice to you, and all right, see, I've said this before many times, but I don't keep emphasizing it because there's a lot of people challenging me, and the more of these tips that I put out, the harder and harder my challengers are going to become. So you want to go into battle with the least weaknesses possible. So what do we have? You see me using Caesar quite often because he's only going to be weak to fire. Now, you know, if they do start with fire types or something that is resisting the moves that I have, which I'm going to be TMing a couple of these later, so you can go ahead and look at those for now. If you're going up against something that is resisting those, you're going to be in a jam. If they don't have super effective, that's okay. Just tear apart their shields and then dig into their health, basically. Another Pokemon to enter the battle with is Swampert, although you're going to be 4 times weak. So you have these Pokemon that are going to be resisting lots of things, have 4 times weaknesses. Now, you also see me using Kingdra, right? Now, if you're thinking, well, what is a Kingdra counter? I see a lot of those people, Kingdra's OP. Remember when I was talking about this a long time ago, how Kingdra is good, and people were like, nah, Kingdra, not that good. And, you know, there was some of you saying, yeah, it's a Pokemon that doesn't get enough love. But I was showing it love when it wasn't getting that. And now look at it. People like to call it OP. That's funny. Because, well, it is very good, right? So, counters. What do you want to go up against a Kingdra? I'm going to spill the beans, and I'm going to let you know how to counter this thing. All right? So, here we go. The counters for this are going to be Gyarados with Dragon Breath and Dragon Tail and Outrage. Yeah, there you go. What am I going to do? Dragon Breath you or Water Gun or Waterfall? What if you have that Water Gun moveset, that is going to be Legacy. I could Outrage you for quite a bit of damage, which will take you out if you don't use your shield, more than likely. If the Kingdra does have Blizzard, you know, that is going to hurt the Gyarados quite a bit. So just think about it, though. You could just shield it. They wasted all that time trying to build up that Blizzard. So if you do have Dragon Breath and even Twister, there you go. Dragon Breath Twister will destroy a Kingdra with a Gyarados. So there's your counters, folks. People that are starting to do this, the reason why I'm telling you this is because, yeah, my teams are getting out there, and I want them to be exposed. So go ahead and destroy those Kingdras. Do it. Use those Gyarados if you have that legacy moveset with Dragon Breath. Oh my goodness. And even Twister. Anybody can get Outrage on it. And the Dragon Tail is also going to be legacy, so unfortunately it's going to be hard to get that. Now, if you're going to start seeing a whole bunch of these Gyarados out there, then you can use this as a counter as well. Lapras with any sort of quick ice move, and then I suppose Dragon Pulse would be doing neutral damage, good amount, and then Blizzard there. If you have Ice Beam on it, which is going to be legacy, that is going to be fantastic. Surf isn't going to do anything to a Gyarados. Obviously, a little bit of health down. Maybe you might scare them into using their shield, but this is also going to be a nice counter to go up against those Gyarados. And as well as, obviously, Electivire is going to be taking it down quite quick. Gyarados is going to be a water and flying type. It's going to get absolutely destroyed by an Electivire, or anything with an electric move, or even rock moves for that matter. If the Gyarados is thinking, the person is like, okay, I'm going to start countering Kingdra with Gyarados with Dragon Breath and Outrage. If you have a secondary move, like, I don't know, Hydro Pump, right? Then you will be able to take this down when you finally get it up, but I'll just use my shield. Those Dragon moves are just going to be doing neutral damage to my Rhyperior, and I'll be able to smack down, and then Stone Edge. Stone Edge is very nice. It charges fairly quick, so yeah, don't ever throw it aside and think it's not great. It personally works fantastic. And then we have, I want to show you this, okay? This is another just amazing Pokemon that you may want to consider. Where is it? Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't have it for the Ultra League, and these are Ultra League specific. And then we're into the territory of the Pokemon that are just kind of getting messed over by that CP being like, 89, like this Lapras here. Let me see here. So I have a legacy, nice legacy that could have been in the Ultra, but it is 89 CP over the limit. So that's unfortunate for me. But another counter to those Gyarados and those Lapras at the same time, or anything flying for that matter. Well, that's not mixed with Dragon at least. You'll have this Jolteon, Thundershock, and Thunderbolt. I recommend Thundershock for the quick move. Thunderbolt's okay, but you're going to probably want Discharge. Is going to be getting off faster. It's not going to be doing as much damage, but it's going to really take down their health, and as well as maybe fake them out, make them use their shield a few times. Also, surprisingly enough, it can take quite a few hits, okay? So, not bad. Shouldn't throw it aside quite yet. I don't think you ever did, but personally, I think I'm going to maybe even look into one of these for the Ultra League. So, they have to look out for those ground-type Pokemon, which are pretty available. Say you go up against a Steelix, you're not going to be having a good time whatsoever, all right? And yeah, there we go. And then we have this Staraptor. I mean, I've showed you this before. We're going to be seeing this, and we're going to do the 3 rounds. It was best 2 out of 3, and then after that, I put up a little sign. It's going to say bonus round. You would have seen it by now. And those are going to be just some extra battles. I decided to use this one thinking to myself, okay, I can take the loss, maybe, possibly. So I want to use some unique Pokemon after we did the initial best 2 out of 3. So I used my Staraptor, always fun to use, powered it up, and bought the secondary move for not just 1, but 2. The one that I maxed out, oh boy. Yeah, and then this one as well. Was I disappointed in its performance? It took the Rock Blast from the Armando pretty well. So I'm not disappointed on that. If it did not use the shield, I would have been able to take it out with that close combat. So it does its work. I mean, if I went up against a Venusaur, I have Wing Attack, super effective, as well as Heat Wave. I could have the other Flying Charge move, but I'd rather go with Heat Wave because I also have coverage for those Steel types as well. So that's also going to be quite nice to do for the Ultra League. Always like that Pokemon, looks great. And then we have Donphin, which is amazing as well. It's going to be taking a lot of damage from those water and grass types, right? But you do have counter, Earthquake, and Play Rough. As well as I'm going to be switching these moves again too because I had fun with it, but it's time to move on and see what I can do here. So Donphin is also a great Pokemon to help you take out those Steelix, because those are going to be in the battle if you're battling those kind of people who are prepared like that. Fire types are going to be great to go up against them as well. We also have the Magmortar with a Fire Spin and Brick Break. Now, we went over this before. Why Brick Break? Well, I'm sure a lot of you who know PvP or counters or coverage or anything like that know absolutely why you want Brick Break. And that's going to be for those rock and ground type Pokemon, right? Those steel types, well, you have fire. You don't have to worry about that. But if somebody tries to counter you, like, you switch this in to protect whatever Pokemon you had, they put in a Rhyperior, say, you're gonna probably go down. If you can't switch, you are gonna go down. Let's just say that. But at least you're gonna be able to get off those Brick Breaks, which is gonna be super effective, rather than just not very effective with those fire moves. So, you know, it's a fairly good Pokemon. It's not something I would throw into battle every single time, but you know, it gets the job done. And then one of my favorite looking shinies right here, we have the Venusaur, of course, with Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and then Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is just great. It's a must-buy secondary move for Venusaur, like we went over before, just for that amazing coverage. Say you're going up against another Venusaur, well, you're going to be able to hit them. And just like you've seen, well, you will be seeing the Typhlosion battle against the Venusaur. Wow, what an amazing fight. If I did not have my shields, well, obviously it would have been over, but that just goes to show how you need to plan your strategy with your shields to when you absolutely need them. And that Sludge Bomb was able to help me take this Typhlosion out. If I didn't have it otherwise, it would have been not very effective, and it would have eventually worn out my shields and then destroyed me with that Blast Burn. Typhlosion, amazing Pokemon right here. Unfortunately, this one is 7 points right above the Ultra League. So, yeah, rest in peace. Now, the Alolan Pokemon, they're fixed. I do believe, so don't worry about any, like, using them and feeling bad for, like, having the wrong typing or them not being correct. It's all good, right? The Alolan Pokemon are back in action. Gliscor is a decent Pokemon, although if you go up against a Pokemon that's using ice moves, you know, say goodnight for sure, because it is going to be goodbye. Also, water type, water gun moves, just going to eat right through it. But if they don't have those, you should be looking pretty okay. Fairy Cutter, Night Slash, and Aerial Ace, once again, going to be switching these up. I think Earthquake would be suitable on this. Earthquake does charge fairly nice. Aerial Ace is great. Night Slash is coverage, but then you have Fairy Cutter, so you're going up against a Metagross. At least you're going to be able to do, you know, it's not very much, 3, but it's moving fairly fast. Super effective damage to Metagross. And then Night Slash would have been super effective, but if you have Earthquake, you know, it's going to take a little bit longer to get it up, but just say they're maybe feeling a little bit brave to not shield. Bam, super effective, all right? Some people just don't know what this type is. And then you have the Kangaskhan. Not going to really go into those moves. I kind of want to keep it a secret for now. And Machamp, we can look at that for sure. Bullet Punch, I decided to go with that because it's charging. It has better EPS. So it's going to be able to get Dynamic Punch up as well as Heavy Slam. It's not doing as much damage, but it's still going to be hurting those Rock-type Pokemon. So that's going to be okay. I was thinking Metagross. Counter's not going to be super effective, although I'm going to be getting Stab. Bullet Punch is not very effective towards it, even though Metagross isn't too big of a threat, to be honest with you. Anyway, now we can move on to the Gengar. We have a Lick, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. This is Reckoning here. I don't use it too often. I powered it up right to the perfect level and bought the secondary move for about 3 of my Gengars. And I haven't used quite a bit of the Pokemon that I actually purchased that move for. I got a little purchase happy right when it came out. And that is why my Stardust got just eaten into so quickly. It was, I wouldn't say a horrible decision, but at least I have a stockpile of Pokemon if I ever needed to, you know, sit down and do some battles with somebody for like an hour, and I had multiple Pokemon to just run through and test and have fun with. So, I mean, in that regard, it's pretty good. I would be going over a lot of these other Pokemon in here that I've purchased secondary moves with, guys. I just really don't want to show everything I have. So, I think of Victory Bell here, and I really like this Pokemon. But then you just look to Venusaur, same typing, same kind of movesets. Leaf Blade is going to be charging just as quick as Frenzy Plant, if not a little slower, because of Leaf Blade is not going to be getting those charge moves up as quick with that energy gain. It's not horrible by any means. It's fantastic. It's just, if you don't have a Venusaur, I guess you can go to this. If you don't have one of those, it's pretty neat. You also have the Alolan Golem. Haven't purchased a secondary move, but this is good coverage. It did destroy me. Edgar got me last round when we played, not this video, but a couple videos back. Really good with this one here. But I made a few adjustments ever since then, and we're looking pretty nice. But this is some good coverage there. So that is my reasoning as to why PvP is still amazing to me, because there are trainers out there who have been working hard and powering up their Pokemon and just been looking for this moment. Is PvP the best structured gameplay that we can get for Pokemon Go? Probably not, but is it horrible? Absolutely not either. Definitely not. I think it works, right? It works for what we have, for the way this game functions as an app, okay? Not a turn-based, but more of a fast-paced and sort of a kind of a turn-based when it comes down to your moves. Your turn, my turn, you get that move, and you have to strategize everything. The energy gain for your quick moves, you have to think about what kind of charge moves you're going to do, the counters. I mean, there's a lot involved, not just tapping a screen. And like I said before, if you want to go up against me and you're just going to tap your screen, all right, I want to see you standing next to me, tapping your screen and just doing that, all right? You can use your shield, sure, whatever, but I want to see you just tap your screen, no switching, no nothing, and see if you can win the battle, because that's just not the way it works, okay? So anyways, thank you for watching, trainers, and I don't know how this is going to go, but I want to show you something right about here. Yeah, we got this going on, so look forward to that. He's been sending me gifts quite frequently. I don't know if you're trying to battle me, but I'll be awaiting your challenge, good sir. Take care, trainers.
Hurry up and come. Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!